Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our first episode of 2022, episode 4. Happy New Year to you all.
Absolutely. I hope you had a great Christmas and a fabulous start to this new year.
Excellent. So today we thought it would be very good to talk about New Year's resolutions, more goals. Personally, I don't set New Year's resolutions.
Oh God, no, absolutely not. Waste of time, very depressing. And they've even done a study that tells you pretty much the date and the time in January when they all just disappear. And I think it's like within the first week.
Yeah, it is.
So no, forgive the sunlight. I'm obviously angelic with this natural sun.
You're continuing
down me. I am. Well, I am obviously an angel. Have you not learned that yet?
Obviously, yes, I have. Yes, I have. So, with that in mind, a lot of people, when they're setting their goals or their New Year's resolutions, they tend to dwell more on the things that they perhaps didn't do the previous year. And what Karen and I want to talk about today is how to be kinder to yourself and how to talk to yourself and focus on the positives of any situation really that you put yourself in. So classic example, over Christmas, I'm not sure about you, but I ate far too much and had this lovely food baby.
Really? I lived on salad and spring water the whole time. It was fabulous.
That halo's just slipped, could you see? So I've been just saying to myself, oh my goodness, I'm so fat, I'm so bloated, blah, blah, blah. But really, what I should be saying to myself is, you had an amazing Christmas.
Absolutely.
You indulged in all those things you wanted to do. You had an amazing time with your friends and family. And now it's time to rein it in a little bit. It's just time to
change your focus.
Exactly. And change your focus.
Yeah, I mean, we're really good at, beating ourselves up for what we haven't done. And we forget the things that we have done. And I bet if each of you took a few minutes to sit and think about, not just last year, but going back through your life, all of the things you've actually done and achieved, got through, survived, whatever terminology you want, you'd actually have a pretty long list. And remembering the things that you might go, well, everyone does that. Like even passing your driving test or getting that first badge when you went swimming at school, whatever it might be, if you survived illness or terrible relationships, if you get up every day and wash your hair or stick some lipstick on, or it doesn't really matter what it is, every one of those things is an achievement that you've done. So if you look back on your day, even just one day, and all of the things that you've done and achieved, most of us will cook, won't even think twice about it. No. But actually, knowing how to cook, knowing what to buy, and for lots of us who've got children, having to decide every single day what they're going to eat, and then they don't want it. But anyway, having that knowledge and the capacity, even down to knowing how your oven works and learning that if it's new. I still haven't quite mastered the clock. I have to Google that every single time it goes out, but I'll get there. Those things are achievements. Being able to buy food for your children, to produce food for your family, to cook it, all of those things, they're achievements. Yeah. And we forget that.
100%, 100%. That kind of alludes more around gratitude and being grateful for the things that you already have.
Oh, yes.
And so a brilliant example of that. Yeah. So we are the 5th day of January. So today's the 5th of January. And at the end of December, I signed up to a challenge to do 40 miles of jogging in January. So I don't have to do it all in one go, but I have to do it throughout the month of January for the Royal Marsden Hospital. And the 1st of the month, didn't do it. And the 2nd of the month, didn't do it. But rather than beating myself up, I just said to myself, okay, that's fine. We're going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So on the 3rd, I got up, I got out, and I did my mile. So I felt so good for doing that. So it is just taking every small thing, and rather than turn it into a negative, turn it upside down and create a positive from it.
Yeah, and it's true. If you think about, I mean, the two that spring to mind are people who diet, and they'll have something that perhaps isn't on their diet, and they go, oh, that's it, whole week's ruined, not on a diet. Hang on a minute, you might have eaten half a packet of chocolate biscuits, but that's like this moment. When you finish that, you can start again, or even the next day if necessary.
Yeah.
And it's when things don't go according to plan as well. You know, oh, my whole day's ruined. Well, no, not really. That thing has happened right now, and you can either go, oh, it's terrible, my whole day. You can go, well, that happened, okay, you know, and move on to the rest of the day. You see, things only become a problem when you associate a particular emotion with it. So if you're going to throw drama at it and say, oh, my life is so terrible, everything's so awful because you tripped over the cat, well, then, yeah, your day is going to be pretty awful. Where if you go, oh, tripped over the cat, glad I managed to stay upright, I didn't hurt myself, didn't hurt the cat, or my kids found it funny, or whatever it might be, the fact is you've then associated a positive emotion with it. Well, it's much easier to move on then.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I might have said this in our first podcast as well, but it's that same strategy first thing in the morning. So if my alarm goes off, right, so I use my phone for my alarm goes off and I press snooze, and then it goes off again, and I press snooze and it goes off again, and you get the picture, right? And then what happens is it gets to, we have to leave for school at 8 o'clock, so it gets to 7:30, and then you have a mad panic because you're late. You've got to get everyone else up, iron school uniform, get ready, get breakfast, get in the car, and you're in a bad mood. And what happens is you take that bad mood and you give it to everyone else. Absolutely. And you carry it with you throughout the day. But there was no need to do that. All you had to do was just get up when your alarm went off and get on with your day. Or even if you were late, just acknowledge, okay, I needed those extra.
Yeah, absolutely. I needed the rest.
Sleep time. But I mean, the fact that you didn't sleep during that time. and scientifically, you do feel worse. It's been proven that you feel worse just through, it's not even a snooze. You're just resting.
Yeah, it's laying there.
But your brain's still going round because it's saying, oh, I must get up.
Maybe it's the way though, because I try not to use my phone as an alarm. I set my, let's not mention the name, but that device that you can yell at, sometimes listens to you and sometimes doesn't, or sometimes responds when you've not spoken to it. And I set music, and I set the music I like. So if I'm woken up to a song, someone singing to me, essentially, somebody can sing, a music that I like, I'm far more inclined to get up because that has woken me up in a good mood. I mean, one morning I woke up to Highway to Hell. Well, that just made me laugh, and then I got up anyway. But so perhaps it's that terrible ringy noise that you get from all sorts of things, and alarm clocks, well, honestly, terrible with your auditory. But if you set the music and you wake up and you're smiling because your subconscious has got that association with, oh, I love this song. You can choose your song as well. You don't just have to put randomly. That starts your day off in a much better frame of mind.
Yeah, it does. It does. So what are your goals for this year? What are you setting yourself? What are there any areas that you're finding difficult to turn around? If there's anything we can help you with, please do get in touch with us, because we'd love to be able to help you and offer some assistance. And you may get hold of us via our Facebook.
No, literally, please note
that. You can get hold of us via our Facebook group, or on email.
Yes, which is livechatwithkarenandalex@gmail.com. I don't remember that one. So Alex, what are your goals and plans? Interesting that actually, before we do this, we had a conversation yesterday. We just happened to be on a walk, and I suggested something to Alice. She went, oh my God, that was on my list. How weird that we're on the same page. But I guess it's not really weird that we're on the same page. We often are. But what are your main goals and plans for this year? And more importantly, I guess, what are you going to do to make sure that you hit those goals and plans?
Well, thanks for
throwing you in there.
Yeah, thanks for the bus. No, so do you know what? Actually, there's a really good book that I use every year, which is Your Best Year Yet by Ginny Ditzler, I think her name is. But there's 10 questions in there, and those 10 questions look at your previous year and the year ahead, your roles, what roles you play. And that's kind of how our connection happened yesterday.
It was.
So if you look at your life in terms of roles, so for me, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a wife, I'm a businesswoman, and I am myself. But I need to reverse that order, because this year I'm putting myself first, and we should always put ourselves first. It's not being selfish, but if we are not in the right, if we're not running correctly, we can't support those around us, and we're not going to be able to achieve those goals that we put in place. So out of my 8 roles, I chose 3 of the roles that I would like to focus on. One of them is around friendships, and that is to spend at least one day a month, or one event a month, do something once a month with my friends. Now, I'm very fortunate. I'm totally blessed with a lot of different friends, a lot of different friendship groups. So yes, I'm gonna be literally having a full life party. But yeah, but that's one of the things we said yesterday. Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, but the time we do spend together, we're working. I mean, yes, this is us working.
It's a terrible job.
It's an awful job.
Wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
So that was one of my things. One of the other areas is with my family. I'm just being more present with my children, with my husband, and with my parents. And the third is with my business, but it kind of levels with myself. So for me, in my business, I'm a holistic health coach. I've spent the last couple of years getting additional qualifications, being more focused around my own health. And I'm going to continue that journey this year. So there's been some issues with my health the last year, which I'm working through. But from that, and from those experiences and how I've helped myself and how I'm continuing to help myself, I'm going to be able to help so many other people.
And speaking of which, we're going to add the link to Alex's website in the comments, so that if anyone else has got health issues that you want to talk to her about, or book appointment or seek advice or whatever it is, you'll find the link there easily, and you can message Alex separately, because that's her business rather than on here. And she's got a wealth of information on her website. Her programs are fantastic. So yeah, just get in touch if you've got any issues there that you'd like help with.
Oh, thanks, Karen.
That's all right. Bit of promotion. I'll be promoting myself in a minute. So
that's fine. I can do that for you. So whatever your goals, whatever your fitness goals, if you've got any health issues, anything like that, please do get in contact with us, because we can totally help you. And actually, there is one thing that I would like to cover. So on that note, this fabulous lady has written a book, which is very appropriate for right now. And it's appropriate at any point in the year, but for 99.9% of the world population, it's very relevant right now. Change Your Life in 60 Days by the fabulous Karen Ferguson.
Oh, thank you so much.
This book is brilliant. You just literally do one piece every day. It's very self-explanatory. And if you so wish, alongside it, you can also get these, I don't know if you can see them, these cards. The sun is reflecting. So these cards. Now, what's quite funny is I've drawn a card every day for the last 3 days, and it's been exactly the same one.
That's how it was designed to some extent. I mean, you can work with a book on its own, and it does work. The reason the cards go alongside it is because I have found that once you've gone through the book, you can use the cards every day. You can literally just follow the cards in the book at the same time and use them as affirmations. But at the same, when you finish the book, what I liked was that you could shuffle them, and whether the card poked out of the pack or fell on the floor or you just felt drawn to it, that's the one you needed to work on. So the fact that you've had the same one 3 times, it shows that that's the area that you need to be focusing on. And as much as the book is written, 1 to 60 because it takes 60 days to change your habits. You don't have to follow it in that order. You could use the cards and work with that one and go back into the book and work through it that way. As long as you're doing it one day at a time, there's no point in rushing at it. You're not going to speed up changing a habit. It still has the same effect. And once you've worked through it, you can start again. As I say, you can just use the cards to keep you going and keep you focused on, staying positive and keeping those changes consistent. Because as you know, the only way to make a change permanent is the consistency with which you approach it until it becomes second nature to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for the promotion.
You're welcome. I mean, I love cards. I love cards. I mean, I love books too, but I love cards. And every day I'll draw a card. So at the moment I'm using Karen's cards. I've got all sorts of different cards, whether it's just motivational quotes, inspirational quotes, angel cards. I do have tarot cards. Not really too into them. I don't mind giving the odd reading, but I much just prefer being able to shuffle the cards, and what I do is I just wait for one to fall out.
Yep. And
sometimes it falls out straight away, and sometimes my shuffling is just so absolutely amazing that actually
that one was poking out, wasn't it? So what have we got on there?
This one. Okay, so here we go. So the one I'd been pulling out was number 12, which was about laughter. So I need you to laugh more. So this is actually number 29. You don't need to wait until everything is perfect before you take action, because taking action is what will make everything perfect for you.
Oh,
which is
very suitable for you at the moment, then, isn't it?
Very suitable for me. Yes.
And they're easy to use, and that's the point of it. I mean, as not just being a therapist but a person, I've always considered myself to be quite impatient. I don't think I really am, because I've waited a long time for certain things to come in when the time is right, but things like that just that little snapshot that took you 6 seconds to read, you went, oh yeah, actually that speaks to me, and that is then going into the subconscious and starting to make those changes. So these exercises won't take long each day. They're quite short, but they are focused. Each day in the book, you will have one of the quotes, you'll have extra information, and you'll have 3 questions to answer. So it keeps you focused. I mean, you can make a cup of tea and you'll have finished before you finish drinking it. It's that user friendly, because if I said to you, well, you've got to do this exercise, it's going to take you an hour and a half every day, you might do it once, so then you'd be like, oh, I can't fit an hour and a half into my day. Whereas if you can do it while you're drinking your tea or your coffee in the morning or whatever it is you've got, easy to do, sets you up for the day then.
Yeah, brilliant. Or you can use it to reflect in the evening.
Absolutely.
Either way, whatever your preference is in the morning. I'm definitely a sunset person.
Yes, we decided that. Yes,
I love a sunrise, but I am much more present for a sunset.
Sunrise means getting up early, really not my thing. Definitely not my thing. I mean, I love the sun, but I don't need to see it come up. I know it will be there every day. And I've actually got another book on the go, so slightly different subject, but when that's ready to come out, fret not, we will tell you all about it. Oh, and we'll put the links to my book and my fabulous new website actually in the comments as well.
Yes, brilliant. Well, have yourself the most amazing week. We'll be back here on Wednesday the 19th of January.
We will indeed. And again, remember, any topics you want us to cover, like Alex said, if you've got plans and goals that you want to achieve and you're struggling to do that, for example, mine is going to be finish the other book and get that published. I am also creating a whole host of new content for my new website. There'll be loads and loads of PDFs and ebooks, and there's kind of therapy based, but they're not totally therapy based. They're self-improvement, and there's loads of stuff coming on. Alex will have loads more things to add to hers as well. We'll keep you updated, but again, it's there. If you need help, if you want to ask questions, just come along and ask us something and we'll do our best to answer for you.
Fantastic. Well, it's goodbye from Karen.
And it's goodbye from Alex. Have a great day.